So this guy popped up on my Twitter feed, Adam Mockler. I defeated the MAGA final boss live on CNN. I've never heard of this guy before like today. Up-and-comer Adam Mockler with 1.61 million subscribers. Defeated the MAGA final boss. Let's take a look.
Just take responsibility for it.
Oh,
on the left.
Me?
You literally said that.
Listen, let me finish.
And then you agreed with it.
You want to know what I said? I said Donald Trump created this environment over the past decade. You sat here and said, I need to take responsibility. I'm a 22-year-old YouTuber. You hold me to a higher standard than the man that
I'm
we
holding
just
you to your
listened
standard of your punditry.
Donald
Your
Trump was
punditry
just
is...
Now, he's got some fucking riz, okay? Look at what they need to mimic a fraction of our power.
vomiting vitriol out of his mouth about how the other party is weak and evil. And he just said, the party of hate, evil, and Satan. You blind yourself to that, and you're focusing...
See, he's got a little bit of a goofy look to him, you know what I mean? Like, he has personality. It's great. Better than Hollyhand over there.
on a 22-year-old YouTuber.
Hey everyone, Adam Mockler here. This is going to be a good video. I just wrapped up my New York Media Week with one final debate on CNN, and I faced off against MAGA commentator and Trump's friend, Scott Jennings. So I urge you guys to watch until the end. I urge you guys to follow the Adam Mockler feed, and once again, thank you all.
The series of events that took place here, we have to actually be clear about what happened.
I know Adam Mockler. That's pretty sick. Get me in contact. We wouldn't debate. I guess I don't know. I just tell him to boost me.
Right? He tried to pressure Eric Siebert at the Eastern District of Virginia.
Hey, this Alec Gunter
to
guy's
pursue this
cool.
prosecution. He did not. The U.S. prosecutors there said they did not see enough evidence. So he forces him out. He publicly declares to Pam Bondi, you need to target these political enemies, specifically labeling James Comey. And then, right after that, installs Lindsay Halligan, a former insurance lawyer with no prosecutorial experience, to go in there.
Oh, heck, I don't know him IRL, oof. I just meant I know of him. Okay, gotcha. See, I don't know. Like, sometimes you just do know people. Like, I know somebody whose uncle wrote Rambo. Like, literally wrote Rambo. You know, that's crazy. You just don't know.
And then within days, Comey's indicted even after rank and file prosecutors, they gave her a declination memo that said, this is why we don't think there's enough evidence. So I don't think this is just the process playing out. I think this is Donald Trump explicitly abusing his power and directing a prosecution of a political enemy.
You said we have to be very clear about what happened, and then you left out the most critical part, where a prosecutor has to go into a grand jury, present the evidence, and make the case why charges are warranted. And the grand jury has to agree with that. In this case, they did. Now, I don't know if he'll be convicted or not, but you can't leave out and
He got the little yellow fish. So you know that he loves Jews.
deny that there's a critical
That's what that
step
means, right?
where average, ordinary Americans get put in a room and they ultimately have to decide, does a case go or does it not go? And then they will decide whether you're guilty.
He's a true and
or whether
blue
you're not
Jubophile.
guilty. That is an important part of the process that he cannot really alter or change.
Just worth noting, I mean, two things. One, there was a third charge that the grand jury said no to. But also, I mean,
For those who don't know, the yellow fish thing is Israel.
this is,
Pro-Israel.
you know, you probably will hear a lot about this as this proceeds. Probable cause is what you need to get a charge, which is a very low bar. Beyond a reasonable doubt is what you need to actually convict.
And no, Zionists are not synonymous with Jews.
But to
Jews are
Alyssa's
fine.
point, that
Zionists.
may not be the point of the message that's being sent here.
Yeah, Donald Trump has done this with a few people. He directly calls out their name online on his Truth Social, and then within days, you see them either targeted.
He like immediately catches my attention.
Their show gets pulled off, they get indicted. And when it comes to Eric Siebert, you can sit here and argue that, you know, Trump had nothing to do with this, but it's so clear that he was putting his thumb on the scale when he fired Eric Siebert. And then, what was it, 6 days before the statute of limitations are up, this new federal prosecutor is rushing this through. And I agree, we should let the process play out. It's fine to let it go through a grand jury. But can you at least concede that Trump was putting his thumb on the scale when he posted Comey's name?
Donald Trump is 100% a stochastic terrorist. He's a war criminal. Stochastic terrorist. He is a terrorist. He's a war criminal. Just terrorist, period. Like stochasticism aside, which he does plenty of, but he's just a terrorist too.
What was it, 4 days before
He's a
Comey
traitor.
was indicted?
I don't think anyone is disputing
He's
that
a
he thinks
traitor.
James Comey
Did he put his thumb
He
on
should
the
be
scale?
tried as a
is
traitor.
a bad person who deserves to be investigated, and if a grand jury so chooses,
Did Trump put his
indict
thumb
him.
on the scale, though?
He has never denied that. He's been very clear about it, has he not?
Isn't this all just kind of exhausting for the American public? Like, Trump did run on we shouldn't weaponize the DOJ.
It's exhausting now.
No, it was exhausting
Just
when Biden
DOJ.
did it. It was exhausting.
Oh,
Why
now we're exhausted.
Wait, Biden-
Now we're
No,
exhausted.
no.
Biden did not weaponize the DOJ. Barely talked about Trump.
Criticized it when Joe Biden did it.
Can I ask?
But maybe if we ignore him, he'll go away, Jack. I made nice cream. My leg hairs are turning blonde. Little girls are coming.
Now he's choosing to
Little
do
girls
the
are
exact
coming.
same
My
thing
leg
at a
hairs.
much grander scale, all while there are fewer
Got ice
jobs than there
cream.
are people unemployed
James
right
Comey's
now.
not
Why
running
is
for
this
president.
supposed to
He
be-
got thrown in jail when he was running for president.
He had a trial.
Can anyone point to one single example of President Joe Biden, privately or publicly, in any documented evidence of our reality?
Like Joe Biden, but also he did not say shit about Donald Trump being a felon. He really didn't. Did he ever mention it? And even if he did, it was like after he was convicted of the felonies. I just don't know where this came from. They don't live in reality.
Directing his Attorney General Merrick
Joe
Garland
Biden did not
to
weaponize
prosecute
the
his political
DOJ.
opponents, let alone protect his own son, who got indicted under his watch.
Oh, it was annoying when both of them did it. Let's say that's true. Like, Biden didn't do it.
When did
What?
Show me.
He pardoned him.
Show me the answer.
Trump is clearly
when
doing
did
it.
he direct Merrick Garland to prosecute Donald Trump?
I want to hear an answer to that.
He publicly, in a Politico
Merrick Garland should have thrown Donald Trump under the jail
story,
for being a
was reported
traitor.
to have been fuming to anyone who would listen that Merrick Garland was not moving fast
Wait,
enough.
Did he tell Merrick
He
Garland?
publicly was
If we lived in
fuming
a
privately?
just
Is that what we said
society-
right
He was
there?
he's asked for
Did he
evidence
tell
of it. He was
Merrick?
in a Politico, so there was
Merrick,
reporting on it.
Did he tell Merrick Garland?
I don't know what he did.
Prosecute.
Oh, here we go.
These specific people.
And by the way, I don't know
but
a
I know he
living
was pissed
Democrat
about
who
it.
thinks
Hold on,
Merrick
wait.
Garland.
Actually, I think this is super important. So are you suggesting that because Joe Biden was angry about something but didn't
Also, Jennings' pocket square looks ridiculous. I was just noticing that.
express it to Merrick Garland, that constitutes
You don't know
pressure
whether
on
he
Merrick
did or he
Garland?
didn't, but I know it was put
No,
in
but
a
do you
story.
know- but do you know?
This is what you guys just said. He says things out
I mean,
loud.
Scott, It's like an
Joe
anime
Biden
character.
said things out
Scott,
loud or had it
I think
reported in a Politico so people would hear
It's a really simple
it.
factual issue here with this idea that Democrats, Joe Biden did this to Trump.
I didn't bring up Joe
where's
Biden. I'm not the person
I
who
know,
rejected
but
this.
listen, where's the proof? Don't we need
No, and to
proof
be honest,
that
I
actually
think
happened?
we either need to agree that weaponizing the
Wait, didn't he just say something about weaponizing? If not Joe Biden, then who? That's who's always blamed is Joe Biden for weaponizing the DOJ. He did say that they weaponized the DOJ, right? I'm not making that up.
DOJ against political adversaries is
I don't
bad
feel like
or it's
going
not.
back.
I think it's bad regardless of
fake
who's
news.
doing it. I think that Donald Trump ran on not doing it, and he is directly
Are
doing
you sure
it here.
Comey is not guilty?
No, and I'm not prejudging that. I've talked about this extensively
But
on air.
it's
If there
bad
is
to
any
indict him, even
wrongdoing,
if he is
It's bad for Trump to place pressure.
What are they even trying Comey for? I have no idea what's going on with that. He let Hillary off the hook for the emails or some shit. Like, okay, and I care why. Like, what are they going after him for? Who cares about James Comey? I don't understand.
I think that putting what
I'm
looks
just
like
trying
a
to grill.
DM to your attorney
Yeah,
general
that's-
on Truth Social and being like, you only got a few days.
And
It's
can I
not
just point
good.
out-
It ain't good.
I'm going to ask for them to point out either any example of Joe Biden doing this. No example. Scott Jennings said, I don't know anything. That's always your fallback. Donald Trump
It was literally, I
directly
literally
asked
said there's a
Pam
story.
Bondi.
There was a story.
Do you
it was
remember when
reported,
Biden said, hey,
and
Merrick,
Biden clearly was pressuring
can you
people
go
to
after
do
this
it.
person? It didn't happen. You have no example.
And also,
It's
on
literally in the
True.
news.
He should have, too.
I know you're like,
By the way, he should have. He should have been like, Merrick, if you don't, I am going to drag your name through the mud forever. The wine moms are going to be spitting on you. Come brunch time, you want those wine moms to think good of you? They're the ones who write history, dog. I'm just saying.
12. But
That's what he should have
it
done.
happened. It's like it happened.
It was never reported. And also,
It was reported.
They're the ones who write
He
history, Jack.
told-
Love
he
the
told
wine
Merrick Garland
moms.
to indict.
And
That was
Scott-
never reported.
They
We
got
know
the
that.
good
And
ice
also,
cream.
I
Is
just
that
have to
what the
say,
reporting said or not?
Yes,
No,
there
the
was a
reporting said that
story.
The reporting said that he told
The
Merrick
point
Garland
of the
that.
story was that Joe Biden was mad and he was angry, and the point of the
That
story
is
was
so
that it would get.
ridiculous. Look at this anime character looking ass. Like, what the is this JoJo character shit? Like, that's his stand. Okay.
out so
And
that they
he-
would feel
hold
pressure to move on it.
It's so
and
silly
he
looking.
Told who?
It was done in the report.
Okay, Adam, I want to play what Bill Maher said about this. It's
Looks
been
like a
the same
spike trap
genre,
from
and
Mario.
Get your take on the other side.
The Democrats
Oh,
definitely
good.
need
We
an
were missing a expert take here.
outsider.
Thank
to
you,
me,
Bill Maher.
the Democratic Party is a ghost brand. And if you could have somebody take it over who's not sentimental about that company and, relaunch it, rebrand it, but it would have to be somebody who is unapologetic about calling them out. People have lost faith in the Democratic Party for very good reasons.
Hold on, is he cooking?
You're the only one I hear who doesn't look like
He's cooking from the opposite direction, right? Like, he arrived at the correct answer, but all of the ingredients were somehow wrong. He's saying that, people have lost faith in the Democratic Party because they like trans people. Whereas I would agree with everything up to that last part and be like, no, people lost faith in the Democratic Party because they don't take a stance on trans people, ever. And whenever anything goes wrong, we have people like you blaming pronouns when like all we want is for people to have health care. Like, Jesus.
Cares what
That's
the
why the
other
Democrats are failing.
will say.
They're not answering the call of the public.
He compared them to Abercrombie and Fitch, a ghost brand.
Abercrombie? I thought it was Abercrombie.
What do you think?
I think that, I mean, he's right that we need more unapologetic Democrats, but it's more than that. The Democratic brand is two things right now. It's a lot of things, but it's both risk averse and it's very, very finger waggy. So all of our politicians are incredibly risk averse. So they're not out there taking risks or trying to do new things. I mean, they're playing it very, very safe. Even as much as I love Kamala Harris and I thought she did well on her campaign, she was very risk averse during all of that. But on the other side of that, while they're being
that hurt my soul. That hurt my fucking soul.
risk averse, they're also just like purity testing everybody and finger wagging them. I mean, I'm a young dude. I like a little bit of like edge in my pocket.
You do not have to hand it to Kamala Harris. You do not have to hand it to that disgusting piece of shit. A spineless loser. A spineless loser. Pardon my French.
Politicians, I think most young dudes like an edgy politician, not somebody who's out there being, you know, super scripted and tested and everything. So all this comes together to create an environment where like, I had a young friend the other day who's pretty liberal say that the Democratic Party feels quote unquote suffocating at times. And I think that's a good way to put it.
It's that and academic. A lot.
I wish he would talk about like the substance of their policies, you know what I mean? Or like their messaging, for instance. Like he's kind of getting at that with the suffocating thing. He's not wrong, but I feel like we could amp it up just a little bit, just like a notch, you know what I mean? And leave Kamala Harris out of it. Like stop saying you like her. Go like her in the privacy of your own room, okay? Not in public.
A lot of times the simplicity is missing in the message.
In public,
Donald
you're
Trump
neutral.
is being accused of inciting violence after his warning to Democrats. This in response to the new developments in the deadly attack at an ICE facility.
Exactly, Livy.
The radical left is going.
I am not kidding. Kamala Harris really took my vote and wiped her ass with it. I am not kidding when I say if they run anybody, and I'm being very generous here. This is my offer to the Democrats. You want my vote? If you run anybody to the right of Pete Buttigieg, you do not get my vote. I will suck it up one last time and vote for Pete Buttigieg. Not that I would prefer that, but I will suck it the fuck up and do it. If you run anybody to the right of Pete Buttigieg, you can forget it. And I'm not even halfway kidding.
Causing the problem.
They're
out of control. They're saying
what's the difference?
And they're really dumb people. I mean, I look at Crockett. I look at some of these people. They're
exactly, Livy.
Very low IQ people, actually. But the radical.
Exactly, Livy. I think that Pete Buttigieg would be willing to say trans rights. Yes, I believe in trans rights, gender affirming care. I believe in all that good shit. That is the bare minimum that I'm asking for. Gavin Newsom does not clear that bar. If you run Gavin Newsom, forget it. And I encourage my audience to forget it. Don't vote for Gavin Newsom.
The left is causing this problem, not the right, the radical left.
I'm tired of encouraging their
and
behavior.
Ultimately, it's going to go back on them. I mean, bad things happen when they play these games.
Everybody has their limit.
And I'll give you a little clue. The right is a lot of games.
Hold on.
It's going to get radical left. There are things causing
the new developments in the deadly attack at an ICE facility.
The radical left is causing the problem. They're out of control. They're saying things. And
okay, hold on. The guy who attacked the ICE facility did not have like strong politics one way or the other. He was just a shitlord. He was a 4chan shitlord. Most of his friends described him as more right-wing, I believe. That's correct, right? I'm not wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong. He was just trying to look for somebody to blame for his crime. You know, like he didn't give a shit who he killed.
They're really dumb people. I mean,
he wrote Antifa or whatever. Not fuck Antifa. He wrote ICE on it. Not ICE. He's anti-ICE. Like that's so lame. I'll be real. If a real true and blue leftist had done that, and I'm not going to say that it's impossible, though I doubt it will happen, but it could. It would have said something like icebreaker. Okay. What else? ICE. Like literally just like ICE. You couldn't just say ICE. Miss me with that shit. They would have wrote the Communist Manifesto on a single bullet. That's what a real leftist would do. If a real leftist were to in fact commit an assassination such as that, which a real leftist should never do that, because real leftists understand that political violence is a last resort as self-defense only. That's why all of these have been right-wingers.
I mean, I look at Crockett. I look at some of these people. They're very low IQ.
But we're the
people,
ones
actually.
riling people up, I guess.
The radical left is causing this problem, not the right.
Yeah,
the
it's our
radical
fault.
left. And it's going to get worse, and ultimately it's going to go back on them. I mean, bad things happen when they play.
I heard they described them as apolitical. You know what it was? He had a trans classmate who went by Christine, you know? And Christine was very trans and wore girls' clothes like the other girls and talked sometimes and existed, in fact. And that's what did it. That's what sent him over the edge, is his trans classmate.
These games. And
if you think about it, I mean, it's trans people's fault yet again.
The right is a lot tougher than the left. But the right's not doing this. They're not doing it, and they better not get them energized.
Right's a lot tougher than the left. My ass, you are a crybaby, dude. All of them are. They're all crybabies. I literally saw a video. Here. You know what? I was wondering how I could fit this into a segment, and I figured it out. Damn it. That's not the one. Although that is another good example of what I'm going for.
And you're door dashing. You know what? Why are you entitled to be here with an illegal card? Go ahead.
I don't know.
You know what? I'll do that.
Is homophobic?
No, speak English.
Yeah.
Well, then speak it.
But why?
But why? You know what? You're a flower man. You know what?
Such a hardcore warrior. Such a heroic act of defiance.
Go speak your language back in Mexico.
Strong.
You know what? Exactly. Hey, you're taking away jobs. You think it's funny? Okay.
Trump's strongest soldier. You're laughing. Trump's strongest soldier is hard at work and you're laughing. How dare you?
I can get in your face too.
Look at her. Look at her go.
Thank you.
By the way, that's not even the one that I wanted to show you. I don't remember watching it in this way, but I don't think it matters because it's a vertical cam anyway.
So you didn't call his name out? You didn't call the name out? Yeah.
No.
She's recording right now. I am.
No.
Yep.
How dare!
Why can't you say his last name?
Trump's strongest warriors.
Why are you being like, yeah, why are you being like this? Yes. Well, okay, why are you being like that?
So what's so funny is she started recording before she understood that like they weren't going to say his name, right? So she had already started recording, and she's got an amazing excuse for why.
Me. I'm not. I actually am making a point, a big point.
A political point. A political point. Yeah, you're right. This is political for you.
I'm making a point, a big point.
Freudian slip. Oh, my apolitical queen. This isn't about politics. This is about Charlie Kirk.
I actually
and my
wrote
respect
a very
for
good
him.
post prior to.
My Charlie Kirk believed in freedom of speech and looking out for the little guy. So listen here, little guy. Shut the f up. Or actually, don't. I command you. Say his name. I command you. Yeah. Now. On it.
Crazy, man.
How dare you?
I
How
wrote a very
dare
good
you?
Post prior to this.
I will have you arrested.
I wrote
Deported.
a really good post. I was really hoping you were going to make the right choice.
That's what it was.
It's not politics. A man spoke up.
You literally were about to say politics. You have politics on the mind. Does anybody know who she is? I'm not trying to dox, but like, if it's public information by this point, which it might be, I'm fine with sharing that. I'm not trying to get her hurt. I want to know if she is into politics. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see her Twitter feed. I mean, she's recording this. She put this out there. So like, I think it's fair. If anybody knows who she is, let me know.
For what he believes in, and he got shot in the neck over it. And you couldn't stand there and call
sauce.
my name out.
Give me the sauce.
My name. But you called his name out. But you called his name out, couldn't call his name out. Called his name out, but couldn't call his name out.
That's Charlie Kirk. Why can't you just say her name? True. They are all Charlie Kirk.
No, actually, I was setting him
Stands
up for
up.
success because I wrote
I
a
am
really
Charlie
good
Kirk.
report.
Next person stands up. I am Charlie Kirk. More people stand up. I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie. I am Charlie Kirk. I am Charlie Kirk. We are Charlie Kirk. And then they all clap.
Excuse me? It is Charlie Kirk. It's the point. You guys came in after me. The place was completely empty. And you're making a scene.
Trump's strongest warrior.
You didn't have to make a scene.
What a night
It's a
in shining
policy
armor.
that your company upholds. They came in after me. It was completely empty when I came in. That woman right there was the only person
Wait, she brought a dog in
here. I actually wrote you guys a really good review prior to getting
It's a cute dog. I feel like that's a cheat code to make people sympathize with you.
this, saying what upstanding it was, how wonderful it was, hoping she would stand there and say my name.
Look at what
And
a
I'm
good
gonna
boy
post
he
this
is.
Video
Or she.
to show what an ass she made of herself and how you came out and you did this, because this is, wow. I didn't talk to her. I'm actually talking to you. It's called freedom of speech. This is what Charlie Kirk died for.
What do you mean freedom of speech? Have you heard of the Fifth Amendment? I have the right to remain silent. I'm just saying, like, you are literally trying to control these people's speech. So what? They didn't call the name. Oh no. How will you ever survive? My goodness. Oh goodness. I don't know how you're gonna get over this, man. I really don't. That's rough. Almost as rough as a child watching a public execution. Something that Charlie Kirk wanted. It's almost as rough as watching gays get stoned to death. Also something that Charlie Kirk wanted. You know? It's rough out there. I get it.
A paying customer, and I have not done anything.
Look how strong they are.
I am just sitting here. You're gonna ask me to leave because you're gonna call the authorities?
They're being so nice to you. If I were the manager there, I would have been like, you get out. And you know what? I'm actually taking a picture of you because I don't want you here anymore. I'd put her on my wanted list. I'd put her on my forbidden list. Like, I would literally hang her photo up on the wall and say, do not allow in.
Exactly what Charlie Kirk died for.
Annoying
this is what you all need to
bitch-a-lin.
understand. It is called freedom of speech.
You can't
It is
miss
being
her.
shut down in America. And this young lady over here wanted to point out.
You can't miss that hairstyle. Boy, howdy. She really went to the barber and said, hey, my shit up.
Freedom of speech is what is getting shut
Get
down.
the
She's
up.
saying she pre-recorded.
Goodness
like, a big
gracious.
thing.
Boy, do I hate having good hair. It up.
This is a public space.
No. You haven't it up enough. Fuck it up
freedom.
harder. Fuck it up even harder. Christ almighty. Holy shit. A wanted poster would actually be effective. Got it. That's what I'm saying. Like, literally hang her photo up. Forbidden. We have the right to do that. I would do it.
That
You
was
stay the
an
out.
odd thing to say.
You suck.
I mean, in this moment.
Look, if you this is literally a good business decision. It is literally a good, solid business decision to kick somebody out when they are being an annoying piece of shit and ruining other people's day. That is a good business decision. This isn't even about politics. If somebody came in saying, this company supports Israel, they support Israel, which they don't. I don't think Starbucks does. They do all kinds of shitty shit, but they don't support Israel, from what I know. But people were coming in and being really annoying about it and spewing a lie. And when they got kicked out, I supported it. They're being annoying. Not to both sides this, but yeah, if they're being annoying, that's just a good business decision. Just get them out.
The point about the kind of anti-ICE nature of the shooting is taken, right? We know that. But then for him to say it might come back to them,
yeah,
I'm
trespass
not sure
them.
that is what's right here.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired of conservatives gaslighting about the current political environment and Donald Trump's rhetoric when all of this escalation can be traced back to his entrance into American politics.
True.
His claim to fame was saying that Obama wasn't born in America.
Actually, it can be traced back further. I say back to the Reagan administration, but I'm not a history buff, so I won't say that with certainty. I just think Ronald Reagan set the tone. You know what I mean? Like, he really set a bad tone.
He was the first presidential candidate to have his crowd chant, "Lock her up," about a political opponent. You can bring up the insurrection. Even in the past few weeks, my home city of Chicago, he posted a photo of Chicago being invaded by the Department of...
He is kind of doing the liberal thing of he's being a meanie bobini. He's not wrong, but like, George Bush was pretty shitty. You know, I feel like we forget sometimes how shitty George Bush was. Adam is going, Alec. He only knows so much. I really hope they do, but I am scared for the person who waited on her. She needs security. Yeah, true. I'm getting really tired of idiots confusing businesses for public spaces. Yeah, it's a business. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not saying, listen, in my society, she'd have a point. It would be a publicly owned coffee shop. I'm just throwing that out there. In my society, she would have a point. She has a right to be there. She's not trespassing. She's in a public space. I'm just throwing that out there.
War. So the broader point here is Donald Trump endlessly deflects and tries to blame it on the other side when he is the one responsible
for being a socialist,
for amping
I
up
guess.
the tension in America. And I've spent all of my formative years throughout high school, throughout college, looking to the president, who I'm supposed to be able to look up to, and seeing somebody who's trying to place blame on the left, who's amping up the rhetoric constantly. And
well, imagine that, by the way. People moan and groan about like taxes paying for public services. You have the right to be in a public library, provided you are not doing something like disturbing the peace or, you know, breaking any laws. You have the right to be there. As long as you're respecting all the rules, you have the right to be there. And if they try to kick you out for like political discussion or something, when you have the right to do that political discussion in your little meeting room, you can sue whoever tries to kick you out. It's a public space. I would like more of those. Thank you.
It's not good.
So you think it's Donald Trump's fault that a deranged leftist climbed up to the top of a building and shot up the ICE facility, not once now, but twice in Texas?
I think it's Donald Trump's fault that America has gotten to this heated place. I think that's
no responsibility for the radicalization on the left that's causing.
You have no evidence. You have no evidence that any of them were leftists. None. At best, they're apolitical. The past two big ones have been apolitical dumbasses who got internet brain poison.
This violent
That 29-year-old is radicalized by online,
one of whom I know for a fact came out of a MAGA family.
Communities
by the way,
and online algorithms. I'm not going to blame
just throwing that out there.
Trump, but
of course, I guess we're the groomers.
Online video game algorithms and all these communities. Donald Trump,
but it's Trump's
10
fault.
years ago. Donald Trump.
I don't like him bringing up video games.
So he ran 10 years ago, and this guy then 10 years later, somehow you're connecting. Can't you just take responsibility for it?
Oh,
on the left.
What the fuck? Let's not do the like he has to take responsibility because he's a Democrat.
I'm a 22-year-old.
Even the others like came in and be like, "That's ridiculous. The f you mean he should take responsibility? What did he do? The f did he do?" I've heard of people naming Adam Mockler in their manifestos right before committing a shooting, you know? Yeah, the famous radical known as Adam Mockler who said he likes Kamala Harris. Listen, if they think he's a radical who needs to take responsibility for like these ICE shootings, imagine what they think of you. If you're watching this, I know what you think. It's getting wild out there.
YouTuber, you want me to take more responsibility than the president of the United States?
I want you to understand.
I'm a 22-year-old.
I want you to understand that we are in the middle of an epidemic.
I don't like that he's a liberal, but I kind of do like that he's a liberal because look at what he's saying about him. He's a liberal.
Of left-wing violence. They're attacking ICE. They shot Charlie. It's happening all over the country. We have these free Palestine.
No, they didn't. That's just a lie. Call him out. Say no. That is a lie. They found no evidence that the guy who shot Charlie Kirk was part of any left-wing groups. None. Nor of the ICE facility, if I recall. He left some bullshit note, but all of his friends corroborated that he had no real political leanings. If anything, he was a bigot. And you can be a bigot and not have any true political leanings. That's possible. You just like hate gay people because you're a piece of shit, whatever. And you can still like Bernie Sanders because you like his economic policies, I guess. Like, you can be a bigot independent of politics, is my point. Fuck, where was I going with this? ADHD brain.
Pennsylvania governor's mansion, on and on.
Then
and
maybe
on.
the president.
It's not Trump's fault.
The president of the United
left
States
is radicalized to the point of saying, we're done talking and we're going to start shooting.
Scott, is Trump amping down the tensions?
Amping down the tensions?
Yeah, is he taking the tensions down?
Yeah, I mean, amping down is a weird way of putting it, but yeah.
Is he trying to do that?
I think he's mad that his friend got murdered. If you want that.
Yeah, he was so mad. Did you hear about the ballroom, though? I mean, he was very mad and upset. But did you hear about the ballroom, though? He's very excited about that. I want you to know that.
Tone down the.
He wants you to know that.
Yeah, you know, number one.
The ballroom's looking fantastic, Charlie Kirk. Oh, Charlie who again? Right? Oh, right. Very sad. The ballroom will be ready soon, though, folks. I know that's what everybody wants to hear.
Leadership from the top. You didn't hear Obama. Dylan Roof shot up a black church. He's saying Amazing Grace. He didn't say, I
Charlie
will go
who?
after
Oh,
my
right,
enemies.
right.
Number one. Number two,
that guy.
We see the data indicates otherwise. There is left-wing violence. Right-wing violence. The Cato Institute, far from some far left liberal bastion, said 63% of the murders from political terrorism between 1975 and September 11, 2025 was from the right.
An underestimate, in my opinion, but I'll take it because that's still the majority.
Right?
How can you argue with that?
That is jihadists at 23%. So the data doesn't, and also the DOJ scrubbed the website that said more of the violence comes from the right. And again, I actually don't want to get into the game of blaming because I actually agree with Adam's take from the other night where he talked about the
I'm a bigot in the way that I hate all billionaires. That's not being a bigot. Like, you don't have to be a billionaire. You know what I mean? You could just choose to not have that much and be a shitty person. Like, if you're born into a billionaire family, like let's say Elon Musk's daughter, his estranged daughter. What's her name? I hate calling her Elon Musk's daughter. I hate that that's the association I have to make because she disowned him basically. But that's the only association I can make because I forget her name. Vivian Wilson. Thank you. The Paper Mario character, Vivian Wilson. That's right. She was born into a billionaire family. But like, I don't see her as a billionaire. First of all, I don't know the situation because Elon Musk is the billionaire. I don't know what her financial situation is. I have to imagine it's at least okay, but I don't know. Truly, I don't know. She is a prime example of somebody who can be born into fantastic wealth, like astronomical wealth. She could have it all. All she got to do is play ball with her dad, you know, just play ball, just be a guy, right? Just detransition. Beautiful. Vivian Wilson, all you got to do is detransition, go back to being whatever her dead name was, and boom, you got it made. Nope, she has principles, you know? So I frankly don't give a what her financial situation is. Maybe she like owns an apartment complex or something. I don't know, but like, who cares? I don't care that much. She's not a bad person, you know? That's how I feel like you could be born into fabulous wealth and then come out the other side still a good person who did the right thing.
Of radicalization online.
I like
There's a broader
Vivian
problem
a
with
lot.
young men, incel culture that's going on here. That's not just like, obviously we need our political leaders to be more representative of like positive masculinity.
She chose not to.
Not just blaming the other side. I mean, you know, every time there's an instance of violence, saying, you know what, I'm going to prosecute.
In fact, I'll go further. Every day, Vivian Wilson chooses not to. Do you know what kind of boon she could be for Elon and the right? If she just came out one day and was like, yeah, I'm detransitioning. The radical left can no longer control me. I'm out of the cult. Imagine that. She could be their sweetheart. She could have it made. She won't.
Soros now. Next up, that's not the way to do it. So I think Adam's right. It comes from the top down. And I think at the same time...
So now we have two people here who are saying it's Donald Trump's fault that someone shot up an ICE facility.
Nobody is saying that.
You literally said that.
Listen, let me finish.
And then you agreed with it.
You want to know what I said? I said...
How about ACAB then? It's technically bigotry. Listen, when I say bigot, what I mean is like an immutable trait, right? That doesn't hurt anybody. And for some reason, people are shitty about it. That's bigotry. You know, like you can be bigoted against men. You know, I think TERFs are bigoted against men. I think they're the prime example of being bigoted against men, if I'm being honest. They despise men. But like, for some reason, the alpha male groups and the pro-men groups decide to side with TERFs and hate trans people. I don't know why. It's so obvious that TERFs just despise men. They hate men, period. They hate them. So like, there's plenty of bigotry in all directions for immutable characteristics of any kind. But like, being a cop is a choice. So I just don't know if I can consider that bigotry in the colloquial definition. I understand bigotry against someone for their immutable identity, then that's immoral for me. Then again, you can be bigoted against religions too. So I guess that's like an exception. I don't know. Anyway.
Donald Trump created this environment over the past...
Usually though, I will say the religious bigotry comes part and parcel with some kind of racial bigotry as well.
Decade. You sat here and said, I need to take responsibility. I'm a 22-year-old YouTuber. You hold me to a higher standard than the man that
I'm
we
holding
just
you to your
listened
standard of your punishment.
Donald
Your
Trump was
punishment
just
is that Trump's
vomiting
fault.
vitriol out of his mouth about how the other party is weak and evil. And he just said, the party of hate, evil, and Satan. You blind yourself to that, and you're focusing on a 22-year-old YouTuber.
Since I've been in politics, I was working for members who were with Scalise during the congressional shooting. We didn't know if they were okay for many hours. I remember what happened. People didn't say, oh, he was a Bernie bro, so we're going to come for the Bernie bros. Yeah. There was this nature of we are going to realize something terrible happened and we're going to move on. You pointed to Dylan Roof, which put political in the way that...
I just don't like that centrist shit, you know, like, I don't like it.
Obama handled it, but the Minnesota lawmakers, Paul Pelosi, I understand why the right feels like they're the victims more. I asked somebody very close to me who's a big MAGA person, and they...
I understand it. I just think it's really stupid. I understand that they are crybabies. They're crybabies. That's it. They're brats that we must just suck it up and deal with per our government, or else be arrested, I guess, or
fired.
Well,
they tried to kill the president twice, and they just shot
or deported.
Charlie Kirk. Everyone in America knows those two things happen. Most Americans can't name
recognize
those
Charlie Kirk.
They probably think something happened to Paul Pelosi, and they don't really know. But the data itself is pretty
Do it
clear.
or you're going
this
to jail.
Is a problem we have to acknowledge that exists on both sides. The sooner we take responsibility for all our rhetoric, and there is left-wing rhetoric that I think is very dangerous and contributes to the anti-sentiment.
Like what?
But
like
this
what?
is not
like
one
what?
side only.
We're
Tell
back,
me.
and it's time for your unpopular.
They can never say it. They can never name it. Give me an example. One example of left-wing rhetoric that is dangerous and causes violence. I would love to hear it. Genuinely, I would love to hear it. I will disavow it. If I truly think that it is stirring violence, I will disavow it. If you have an example, please leave it in the comments.
Opinions. You each have 30 seconds to tell us yours.
Yeah, mine is on the most important story of the week.
I'd love to know.
The rapture. The TikTokers that were preparing for the rapture, they need to be hired by FEMA.
That was funny.
Okay? Sure, they got the timing wrong slightly, but the preparation and the detail orientation was fantastic. They were talking about
what are you talking
where to
about?
Position your arms when you're being raptured. They were saying don't look down as you're flying through the air. Really pointed
There are safety instructions? God didn't just figure... What happens if I wave my arms around? Am I going to get, like, my arm lopped off on the way up? I thought God had this shit figured out. God's plan, I thought. Oh, it's just God's plan, I guess, that I wiggle about and lose a finger or two. Okay. Thanks, God.
Suggestions that
thought you had this
FEMA
one.
so that could be directed, and then you unleash this swarm.
Literally, as you're being raptured, you still have to do all this extra shit. You know what I mean? You're still doing all the work. Even during the rapture, God is like, no, you. Arms crossed, bitch, or you'll get it lopped off. I don't give a fuck.
Influencers?
You know, my side is going to eat me
fuck.
alive for this, but I do think Donald Trump is right. Diet Coke is the best drink on the planet. Like, I can't get enough of it. You can't even overdose on the thing. I need to chill out on it.
That's not an unpopular opinion. That's a popular
opinion. If you said Diet Pepsi, I'd be like...
Can we do like, is he the best? Like, I don't dislike him. Stop humanizing Donald Trump. He's a fascist. He's disgusting. Stop it. Stop it. If you're going to be funny about Donald Trump, you need to be shitting on him at all times.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
He's a disgusting piece of shit. Adam Mockler, everybody. I thought he did a pretty good job. 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. I think that he's very well educated and well spoken. He certainly knows more than me in some regards. I didn't know all of the events that he was speaking of, but I got the gist. So I just wish that he would not be so forgiving to the right. You know what I mean? Like, he's way too nice. He's too nice. We need somebody with teeth. We need some grit, okay? We need somebody who's going to go out there and just not hold back, because they're not holding back. They've already labeled us all terrorists who deserve to be in camps. It's over. Like, it's time, okay? Bare the teeth. That's just where we're at. These people. We don't need to be civil with them anymore. When were they ever civil with us? This is ridiculous. I genuinely think liberals still don't get it, and they'll still be able to just vote all this away in the midterms in 2028. That's my fear as well. I don't know what else it'll take. I don't know. Maybe we just go through this cycle again, but worse next time. I genuinely don't know. I'm just trying to get the word out that, like, this is unacceptable. I don't think he did bad. I just wish that he were meaner. We need somebody who's mean. I'm sorry. You have to be mean. You have to shit on them. You have to make them look ridiculous and goofy, okay? You cannot just out-logic them anymore. Pull their pants down. Literally, just pants them. That's where we're at. It's over. They're pathetic. Start acting like it. Their opinions don't matter. Stop acting like it. Stop being nice. 7 out of 10. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.